All right. Welcome to Unhinged with the Door Dork. Today, we have a very special guest, Mr. Kevin Hardman, owner of Hardman Glazing Management. Let's dive on in. Are you ready? His next one is not really a door hardware fail. Something very fascinating. My brother-in-law just got back from Paris, France, and he saw this in a museum and immediately thought of me. And I thought it was brilliant. I've never seen anything like this. So it's historic hardware, something I've never seen, and very ingenious in what they did. So are you ready?
Anytime there's a door and your brother-in-law involved, it's like always a mess.
Well, us door hardware nerds, we can't help but talk about it with our families.
He's the one that has lived in these two apartments in downtown Portland that have code violations, right? He's like the harbinger of bad openings.
Yeah, really nice amenities, terrible door hardware choices.
Okay.
So it's old style, like mortise style lock with a knob. And what I thought was, if you read the little description next to it, the key actually goes in where his leg is. That's where the keyhole is. So you have to scooch the leg out of the way. When you turn it, 2 complete turns, the dial, which demands a little pointer stick, rotates. And so this is like probably one of the earliest forms of actual access control. So you can see how many times this door, like this is the first door position switch, where you can see how many times this door has been open since last time you were there.
That's interesting.
It's pretty phenomenal. And the fact that, you got to get them to do a little can to get the key in it's a nice touch.
A little added layer of security there. You got to, kick the can a little bit. And then just the cherry on top is when the doorknob is released, the man's hat is pushed aside. So the hat, he like tips your hat also when you're turning. I would love to tear this open. I'm sure I'd get arrested for doing it, but I'd love to tear it open and see how it all works.
I was going to say the same exact thing. I'd love to see the amount of cogs in there, because someone obviously put a tremendous amount of time and care into putting this thing together to make an ornate piece that's functional, but still it's just really pretty striking to look at. I mean, the key itself, I couldn't imagine the hours, because I'm assuming they didn't have a laser jet when they made that one.
Yeah, no, the date they're guessing somewhere 1600s to 1700s. Like that's before machinery. Like that's pretty old.
Yeah.
That's been older than our family in the trade.
Yeah, I would be nervous to have this on a door just because I'm assuming there's a lot of different pieces that are interacting in there. And if one of those things fell, but I mean, it looks like it was all made out of iron and brass. So pretty strong manufacturing there. So who knows? Maybe this lasted a very long time before they put it into a museum.
Yeah,
probably so. I mean, I would imagine it still has some functionality to it now. It'd be fun to see someone tinker with it and watch the leg and hat and all the action going on.
Definitely. This should be in the Locksmith Museum in New Haven, right? Instead, it's in some fancy French Paris museum.
And as well, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that people aren't cutting loose on making items like this anymore. You're not going to find that on the shelf at Home Depot, I don't think.
No. Definitely. Me, I know we do some custom manufacturing, but this might be a little extreme. If I sent this to some of the engineers at Sargent, like, hey, how can we work on this?
This one's gonna cost you a lot if you want this on your building. This would be pretty incredible to see in real life.
Man, and I need that key. I don't collect a lot of door hardware because I would just have a house full of hardware, but I do collect skeleton keys, old-timey keys, and that's just the detail on that is incredible.
It's amazing.
Okay, I don't know if we even can give this a knocking score because there's nothing like knocking wrong with it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because if you're talking about being wrong, as long as it works and it looks that good, I mean, I imagine you're going to be at the bottom end towards the one of the spectrum, because it's pretty fancy. I want one.
Yeah, agree.
This is my closet door. I don't know.
You put this on the snack safe.
Snack safe. Okay, you guys ready for the final slide? Final door.
All right, drum roll. Seemed like high security.
A privacy lock on the outside?
Yeah, it takes you a second. And I wish I could zoom in on my screen to show you guys a little bit, but there is a slot right here where you could put a padlock. And it seems like this is how they've been securing this retail store. Maybe I should have blurred out some brands. It's in the background. Don't worry about it.
Avert your eyes.
Now, there is a place for a cylinder. Is there a cylinder? Or is that
No.
just like
No
a plate?
cylinder.
Okay.
It's a little peephole right there.
Oh, it's an open hole. Even better.
They probably pulled the whole lock mechanism out of there because it didn't work. And just, that's all right. We'll just leave that thing open and a little throw bolt. And we should be good to go.
And again, I wish I could zoom in for you guys because this is screwed in with a Phillips screwdriver.
That was going to be my next question, Benji, was, yeah, great. You can put a padlock on it and then unscrew it with the padlock and leave with that as needed. The doors themselves are pretty brutal. I mean, obviously they're sagging at the nose a touch. You got a little tighter at the top there, and someone pulled the mohair out or no astragal at all, because that would probably be too complicated for them to tackle. It's a tough go all the way around on this one.
One of my concerns, and this is coming from a life safety perspective. I used to work in retail, and your entrances and exits are very limited, and you have them strategically placed in your store, to welcome in traffic. But if people need to leave in emergency, they naturally go through of the entrance that they came in. And this is something where if someone wanted to do some harm or some damage, they could throw this bolt on this entrance, walk into the other side, and kind of create a funnel where people try to leave this door and are prevented by this handyman's little bolt here.
Yeah, but that bolt's only going to work if they've also thrown the surface bolt on the other side.
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna, if enough pressure and force, that's just gonna bevel right open, right? You would think, hopefully, in the case of an emergency.
Yeah, testing the shear strength of the number 10 screws that are holding that bracket to the door.
I know where you used to work in retail, Benji. I used to work for this brand in retail.
Oh, you
wow.
did? Oh, okay.
So circa what year did you install this, Mia?
Was this one of your previous stores, Mia?
I didn't say locksmithing. I was a cashier.
It is pretty good to look, though, and see that instead of calling someone who has some general understanding of door hardware to tackle this project, they called the handyman, and by God, he got it done.
Yeah, you would think like they didn't have this bolt just in the back room, right? Like they had to call someone out to do this, and yet why didn't they just call the right person in the first place?
Because it's cheaper.
And yes, that is retail. You're
It
trying
would
to
be more
more-
secure to put a chain around the pulls, a chain and a padlock.
Kind of screaming for a 10, I think. Life safety and security, both pretty much in trouble with this particular setup.
overall not great, right? Okay, is that your knocking score, Kevin? Are you giving this a 10? Because
I'm gonna have to, like you said, I mean, there's some vital safety issues, and the security of the store is wholly compromised at this point. So it's just that you're not winning on either front.
They'd literally be better served to bring their chain and padlock in the morning and put it back out at night. It would take care of life safety. It would take care of the security. Otherwise, call a certified locksmith. Also, what are they doing at night when they're closing down? Kevin, I don't know if you've worked in retail, but I'm assuming you've pretty much always worked in this industry. At night, you close the store while you count the money and clean up, and you lock the door because now the money's all out.
Yeah, the registers are right here, literally right here, and someone can even look through that cylinder hole. Hey, you've got a bunch of cash on that table. How can I get in there? Could be leading to some disasters.
Right.
Well, and to Mia's point, really, does one of the workers leave and lock the other employee in temporarily while they do their work?
Unless they've got another one of these on the inside.
That would be kind of fun.
I don't know how they're securing the facility when they're doing their closing procedure either. This is not great. Nike, come get your store.
You may want to do a go by.
That's an emergency, I would say. That's like you need to get someone out there no matter what it costs. Like,
absolutely.
Well, Kevin, it was truly a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, it was this was a good run, especially someone with such a good amount of industry knowledge and a general amount of industry knowledge from generation, third generation or fourth generation?
Fourth generation.
Wow. Yeah, That's some quality knowledge there. So thank you for being here. Mia, thank you. It's always a pleasure. Join us for the next episode of Unhinged. Our doors are always open, partially because they're unhinged.
If you want to be featured on one of our future episodes, leave a comment down below. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.